Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, and this is my review for Alone in the Dark Inferno, also known as Alone in the Dark 2008. So dear viewer, if you don't mind, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. Oh, Alone in the Dark 2008, you poor unfortunate bastard of a video game, you. Not only were you supposed to reignite interest in the somewhat long dormant Alone in the Dark series of video games, but you were supposed to be a good video game to go along with that. And sadly, you're probably neither of those things. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so what the hell is Alone in the Dark 2008? Well, I'm so glad you asked, dear viewer. This is a reboot, reimagining, supposed sequel to the older Alone in the Dark games, featuring once again lead protagonist Edward Carnbury, who this time is suffering from a bad case of amnesia and must stop a horrific cult from doing culty things, like ending the world and summoning monsters and all that garbage. Now, if you have ever had the fortune, or should I say unfortune, of playing this game for yourself, then you'll probably know that it wasn't very well received back in 2008. In fact, the game was originally released for the PlayStation 2, the Xbox 360, and the Nintendo Wii, and that version of the game is radically different to the version I'm reviewing today, which was also released in 2008, but was the PlayStation 3 version, retitled as Alone in the Dark Inferno. But have no worries, dear viewers, if you've only played the Xbox 360 version or the PlayStation 2 version. Though those games are radically different to this one is just as bad, but equally as laughable. That's right, this game is freaking hilarious at times. Whether it's Edward Carnbury swearing, and fuck you anyway, whether it's the really bad enemy design, whether it's the really bad voice acting when people get possessed, whether it's the ridiculous action sequences which feature car chases and climbing up buildings and floors falling out from underneath you, whether it's the enemy AI, which is about as intelligent as Paris Hilton after she bangs a bloody head. But is there anything good about this game? Well, again, I'm so glad you asked, dear viewer, and I'm happy to report that there is. I quite like cheesy horror movies, and this video game is very much the cheesy horror movie equivalent in video game form. Yes, I'm going to use that overused phrase, so bad that it's good. But this one actually is. There's some quite inventive gameplay here, like having to unlock a keypad by cutting a hand off of a security guard and using that. I'm not kidding. Wounds actually appearing on Edward Carnbury's body. Again, I'm not kidding. The driving sequences, which do add a little bit of Fast and the Furious to this horror story. Edward himself is voiced by James McCaffrey. Rest in peace, you talented bastard. For those of you who don't know, James McCaffrey was the voice of Max Payne, and most recently can be heard in Alan Wake 2, playing Detective Alex Casey, who for all intents and purposes might as well be bloody Max Payne. So, I can't say that I hate this game. I've never hated this game. I've always quite enjoyed it, and I decided to play it in honor of the fact that the new Alone in the Dark releases tomorrow. and I'm sure that will be received critically better than this game was. Please note, at the time of recording this review, I had not yet seen the actual reviews for Alone in the Dark 2024, which, for the most part, have confirmed my fears that Alone in the Dark is a relic of the past and will probably be staying there for quite some time, because sadly the 2024 game I don't think is going to reignite interest in this particular franchise. Quick, Bertrum, get me a violin. Therefore, I declare that Alone in the Dark Inferno is so bad it's good. So, dear viewer, there you have it, my very in-depth review for Alone in the Dark Inferno. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then feel free to give me a thumbs down. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, and that is to always stay obsessed. Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.